Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify.
ABC Wednesday. Tim Allen and Kat Dennings star in the new family comedy Shifting Gears.
Dad, I'm broke and I need a place to stay until I figure out what the rest of my life looks like.
So, a couple of days.
When his daughter moves back in.
The last time you walked out that door, you looked back at me and gave me a double bird.
I was 18. The double bird was how I ended all our conversations.
The wheels come off.
Can we try to talk to each other like rational adults?
Have you watched the news lately? That's not a thing anymore.
Series premiere Wednesday, 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Boy, the holidays do not disappoint. Every year under the tree, depression. God, this
Christmas, same shit, different day. Who cares?
My God, it just drives me crazy.
Whose dick do I have to suck to get another IPA around here? My God.
Adam,
well,
it's 10 a.m.
Yeah, and this is an IHOP, Adam.
That kid needs to circle back already. It's been 11 minutes. I'm timing him.
You've sent him to the liquor store twice already. Relax.
Yeah.
I'm tipping him.
Adam, maybe this is the time to have a discussion.
Oh, no. Is this going to be an episode where we answer a listener letter about problematic drinking?
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake while the Grawlix sing. We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake while the Grawlix sing. We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake while the Grawlix sing.
They say it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. But I say it's even better to just use the light on your cell phone, because a candle, the wind can blow it out, or maybe you only have so much wick and wax left. But with a cell phone, that light, that's as good as your battery. So I say it's better to turn the light on your cell phone than to curse the darkness, and just use that as a flashlight, because that is the function. In fact, if you look at the little icon, it's a flashlight picture. So yeah, use the flashlight on your phone. It's better to do that than to curse the darkness. This is the Grawlix Saves the World. My name's Adam Caton Holland.
I'm Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And this is a comedy podcast about bettering your world. And one way to better your world is just familiarizing yourself with the tech available to you on your
get
phone.
it, Adam. Adam.
There's a lot of options.
I think everyone knows the flashlight. If anything, old people need to know how to turn the flashlight off.
There's just so many functions on this thing, and they're constantly updating it. So every once in a while, just dig around, see what you're not using, because tech should improve your life. And there's a lot of cool functions on these things, I find, once you sort of study it.
Well, everybody, welcome to another episode of the show. Of
it's
course,
2025. We did it.
2025. They said it couldn't be done. They said it couldn't. And what did we, Grawlix, say? We said we'll lead you into 2025.
Yep.
And did we lie? Did we lie?
Here we are.
Here
we are here.
Can I say
Force
this?
marching you at the tip of a spear into 2025.
Bold prediction, 2025, best year yet for the Grawlix, and certainly the best year yet for the United States of America. Anyone agree? Okay, do we...
No, I just wanted that meat locker silence just to sit there.
I think we're all a little jaded, and I think... you're making some predictions that I do not believe to be rooted in any type of reality.
No. I refuse to operate from a place of reality.
So you're trying to, it feels like you're trying to manifest right now.
I'm trying to gaslight myself into happiness.
Oh God, I wish I could do that. You ever
Seems like Adam has really gotten on the boat, as they say.
Do you ever it feels like I always envy people who are just blissfully
unaware. How do they do it?
And just happy. They're like, everything's fucking.
They don't know about anything. Like they never go online. They're just kind of. Everything is news to them. You're like,
I'm not kidding you.
You don't know about that?
since the I don't want to get overtly political, but since the election, which I experienced in Georgia, optimistically thinking, oh, we're gonna flip Georgia, and then like, oh no, America wants to run off the cliff. I've stopped listening to news. I've stopped caring. I'm like, oh, America voted for this, so like, what do I like? Resoundingly so. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like I'm gonna be happy in my little bubble, and that's all.
I love
I'm gonna
that
do.
you're on an airplane that is clearly going down, and you're the guy in the back seat that everybody notices.
Excuse me, could you bring that bar cart back here one more time?
And just smiling, your head bopping to the side, and you're
We
like,
got T-minus 13 minutes left till this thing hits the ground. So do you want to scream and cry or have a good time?
yeah, grab. It's like I said on my special, just fucking ride this shit bird down. Let's go, baby.
Hell yeah,
I
man.
love it. And I like that attitude because I like reckless. Like I love
ignorance.
Yes. Well, and I just like
I just like reckless ignorance.
Recklessly ignorant Adam is one of my favorite people on the planet.
There's so much going on up here anyway. What, I got to take in new stimuli? No thanks. I've got everything I need inside my head already. No output. Nope, I'm good. No input, rather. I'm good. No input and no output. That's my mantra for 2025. No input, no output. Nothing
you're like some
in,
sort of
nothing
you're
goes
like some
out.
sort of antique stereo equipment that you just can't hook up.
Adam is fully self-containing unit just sitting in the middle of a barren wasteland.
I like the antique thing. I'm an old antique shop that very few people visit and that doesn't sell any of its wares. And how does this guy pay the
somehow
rent?
still in
no
business.
one knows. No one knows how this works.
Cool vibe, dude.
Thanks.
Well, I love it. I love it. Well, here we are, 2025, and we have our first listener letter for the year. And I'm pretty excited about this one.
Ring a ding ding.
I mean, point of parliamentary procedure. Did they write the letter now, or is it from
Adam, shut the fuck up.
Well, this was
Shut the fuck up.
Well,
You said no input, no output, and you ask a question like that?
I still need answers.
I see what Andrew's saying. That feels like output, Adam.
You don't need answers. You just told us you specifically don't need answers.
You know what? You're right. I'll take a knee.
For the year? For
Yep.
2025?
Yep.
Take a knee. How about
Guys,
2025? You take a knee.
I'm taking a knee.
I like it.
My
like
resolution this year is to take a knee. Bye.
Well, anyway, we've got this letter, and it came in a little bit ago. It was directly messaged to me. This person wants to remain anonymous, but they were very clear that I am their favorite Grawlix member and that I am the most insightful, most handsome.
Wait a minute. They DM'd you this letter?
Yes.
Did they say talk about it on the pod, or was this just somebody?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
All right.
they did.
So they DM'd you asking if you could fly it up the flagpole for better advice.
I don't know.
They're like,
I don't
you hang
see-
out with
hold on
people
just
who
a
give
second. Let me
better
just
advice.
I
Can
did skip
you?
the letter.
When people DM me,
Nope, I'm not
they never
seeing
say,
that in
hey,
there.
could you take this to Ben or Andrew? But it's funny that people DM you and ask you to take
They
it
did
to
not.
Adam and
They did
Andrew.
not ask me to bring it to you. I think they asked. They said, "Here's what they." I'll read it, and at the end, it'll be clear what they were looking for. Me. Okay. So let's start. Hey,
That's
Ben.
rich. That's rich. You reading something and reading it clearly. That's rich.
Hey, Ben. I am a GSTW listener. I'm from New England, moved to CO at 18, which I think is similar to your story. They are also, I'm going to skim past the parts. They're also a professional musician, almost 30 now, seen some success with their career. But here's where they get
So
to the
not
meat of
that
it.
much like you.
Shut.
Hey, as a guy over here who's just taking a knee, loving it. Loving watching the show.
That's output, Adam. And I would argue you saying that is output. You
Sorry.
should keep it to yourself.
Sorry, my bad.
Here's where we get to the meat of the letter from the person. I've come to a crossroads with alcohol addiction in particular, and I know I'm at a place where I can't live the life I want with it present. I've read books, gone to AA meetings, and I feel like things have almost clicked, but I have an Escher sketch brain, and rock bottom never feels deep enough. As an agnostic,
Escher sketch. Okay, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. Well, but the rock bottom of Escher would go back up and then back down and then back up and then back down.
Thank you, Adam.
Yep.
As
We all have the
Not
poster.
output. or input. I already just knew that.
Yeah, great. Thanks, bud. As an agnostic, I'm having a very hard time naming my higher power. I'm wondering what advice you might have for me. Would love to hear
like
this.
pick a god?
Would love to hear
totally.
this.
From the pantheon of gods, I'm looking for a new one.
I'm looking for a new deity.
That's our takeaway. That's our takeaway from the whole letter.
Yeah.
All right.
I want a new god, one that won't judge a bite. All right. Anyway, I'm wondering what advice you might have for
Dibs
me.
on skinny Buddha. Dibs on skinny Buddha.
I would love to hear this on the podcast or a DM. Whatever, dude. I'm sure you're busy.
Well, you're in luck, bud. You don't have to deal with the dog shit of DMs that Ben Roy offers. You
don't need a 2 a.m. you up for my advice.
This did come in at 8:02 p.m., which I feel like is a reasonable time.
Very
for
reasonable
a letter.
time.
And our anonymous listener, if I just want to ask you both for clarification if you're reading the same thing. So things have almost clicked with AA and things like that, but having trouble naming a higher power.
Well, you think so that you genuinely think that's the advice?
No,
Help me name
that's
a
not-
higher power.
I think the advice in this is like, how do I deal with that question as an agnostic?
like the Creed song. Help me name a higher power.
All right, well, we'll just go. I would name him Deke. Adam, what would you name him?
Well,
Something hard to say,
Deke.
so you really have to summon him, like Leviticus or something like that.
I'd just go intimidating, like the 1,000-eyed one. You know,
Okay.
you're like,
Oh, that's
Jesus
cool.
Christ.
I vote
Episode
Andrew.
done.
I vote Andrew. Episode over.
Yeah, I like Andrews. Thank you so much for
The
tuning
answer is
in.
the 1,000-eyed one.
Yeah.
No, I want to say this. I think that this is good for us because, Adam, I know
Yes.
earnestness horn, Ron. I'm firing the earnestness horn
Wow.
in the first act.
Oh, fuck.
Adam, I know we have had conversations in the past and maybe even more presently that given some of the things that you've experienced and the things you went through, that as an agnostic or an atheist, believing in something higher has been difficult for you, or you
for
felt
sure.
conflicted.
I thought you were
at
going to
times.
be like, you have a drinking problem. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I thought he was going to
No,
mention
that's-
that too. I was like, I don't think Adam
I
does.
think I got it all right.
No. I'm just saying. I think.
Yeah, the higher power thing for sure.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
Andrew, I know you're a fucking godless heathen, and I don't know what I believe. So I think that this is a really good question because Andrew and I are both sober. Adam is a problematic drinker, which we will get to in the second part of it. I don't think Andrew sees how you behave. I don't think you come to his house. I don't think you stay in his parking
I
space.
was just thinking about drunk Adam the other day because I accidentally, one of my pant legs got stuck up and I didn't realize it. And I was walking my dogs. And when Adam gets real good and drunk, he'll roll up one of his pant legs.
Yes, he
and
will.
that's how you know.
Yeah.
like a crip.
Dude,
That's how you
stop.
know Adam has been in the old medicine cabinet.
All right. Well,
What a weird tell.
Let's take a quick break. We got to pay some bills right now. So for those of you that are not Patreon subscribers, get ready
Get
to hear
fucked.
our commercials.
Sorry.
But if you are a Patreon subscriber, you get this episode ad free. You can just listen to it on Patreon without any of the ads. Plus bonus content. Boy Crazy is up there. Full one from the Christmas season and fourth act. So check it out. Patreon.com/Grawlix Saves truly helps make this podcast run. I'm not joking about
There's a
that.
training montage up there of Ron just getting fucking jacked. It's just him running,
He
him
looks
doing
so
push-ups, him punching like big cow carcasses in a meat
Don't
locker.
promise people stuff that doesn't exist on the
Fucking
Patreon.
sexy.
Oh, dude, we should do a video like that. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to solve our anonymous writer's problem with God and alcohol. We'll do it. Watch. We'll do it all in about 30 minutes time. Stay tuned.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadlines so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
We are back. Through the magic of podcasting, time has elapsed. We hope you enjoyed your ads, people that are not on Patreon and people that are on Patreon. You're right back. You're right back here with us again. And good to see you. It's almost as if you never went away.
Yeah. Just to recap what the letter is, and I think for all of us in an effort to give advice, basically we have a 30-year-old musician, has experienced some success. And
you think it's Chappelle Roan?
I think so. I think this has.
Are you DMing with?
I think
Chappelle
is
Roan?
it Chappell or Chappelle?
I don't know. Dave Chappelle.
Well, I'll tell you who doesn't know, the three of us.
I think it's Chappell Roan. I think it's Chappell, y'all. But
I think it's Chappell Roan.
Do you think it's Sabrina Carpenter? I'm just trying to do young things. Those people
probably pushing 30, blessed with some mild career success, relationships, no kids, but just realizing alcohol and cigarettes don't have a place in their life anymore, that they're kind of powerless to it. And that basically they've seen some success with programs and books, but are struggling to, as an agnostic or an atheist, to give up to a higher power, to figure out what that higher power is you're supposed to give into when they talk about that. I think we should, just to make this one interesting, give her advice as well on not drinking as well. I think we can include that in here. Just our thoughts on being social, being out, being social without drinking, and with program stuff. How do you deal with the question of God that runs rampant throughout most of these programs? So I think that's how we should approach this. How do you all feel? I think I'm going to raise that.
That sounds great.
Sure.
I will go first. I feel like that's fine.
Okay. I'm also instituting something new. A 5-minute stopwatch for your segment of advice. We each get 5 minutes.
5.
So I'll go first then.
Thanks for playing, Ben.
Why don't you just shut up for a minute? Okay. I thought no input, no output.
I'll take an E.
But I've
taking an E.
T-bowing. Look at him T-bowing out over there. All right, I'll get going. First of all, you were right to message me and to not go to the rest of them. Andrew, put the clock down.
You're just burning the clock
running.
with your pandering. I'm not stopping the clock for your pandering.
Well, you're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. I'd like to restart the clock.
Oh, no.
Here's
Motion
the thing.
denied.
Number one, I think the biggest thing that I tell people in my experience, I've been sober or free of alcohol for 14 years. I think the biggest thing that I tell people right off the bat is you have to change your behaviors, especially as a musician, especially as somebody who is out in crowds. I don't expect you to stop doing that as a medium because that will be catharsis for you as you move through this process. I think it'll be important for you to have that creative outlet and to still feel like you have a purpose. But I do think you're going to have to change the way you behave around venues for a while. I think if you're playing shows, you got to leave afterwards. I think that's a big thing. I think changing your habits, because I know a lot of people will still go out to shows of friends. I think you got to tell your friends, hey, I'm trying not to drink and smoke as much. So I can't be out in those situations as much. I think an all-around change of how you act habitually and where you frequent is a big part of that. And I think that'll be a huge first step. I'm going to stop there with my advice.
What?
On that? No. Just on that piece. Because I've only got...
of course you're going to... Yeah.
No. But on that piece, because there's a lot that can be said. And I do think you guys will have thoughts, especially Andrew, not so much Adam, because you have a problem.
No, because I took a knee.
No, well, you're taking a knee because you're dizzy, because you're so drunk. You can't
no
stand
input,
up.
no output.
Anyway, the God question. This is a problem I have with Alcoholics Anonymous. I have had a problem with most treatment programs that want you to put your faith into a higher power and I understand why they're doing it. here's my thought, and it may seem like I'm making a joke, but I'm not.
No, you don't know how to do that.
Adam. You're gonna get a card for you're chewing into my
flag on the advice.
This is the most.
You know how to rant for 11 minutes. This is the most
outputting. I'm only 2 minutes and 40 seconds in.
I know. Even with all the blathering, you still have a lot of time left. It's
here's
impressive.
what I'm going to say: agnostic. If you're atheist or agnostic, here's the best part. You don't have to believe in any of that dog shit because to you, none of it is fucking real. So it doesn't matter. What you can do and take from this are the steps of making amends, forgiving yourself. Going through those particular steps, you can just ignore the higher power and acknowledge you're the one that's doing the work, that you're putting the work in, and that you are your own God. You are the person who manifests.
You are your own God?
Whoa.
Dude, come on.
Okay. All right.
That's the advice that you'd give to this person?
The Ben Roy narcissism, grandiosity.
It's not.
You are your own God. Rise
up. Messiah.
Rise up.
All the pictures of Ben with audiences lifting him up. I see. He's just a Messiah complex.
The fat golden calf.
I said that if he's an atheist or agnostic, I don't believe that. I believe in something.
Sure. Yeah, no photographic evidence to the contrary.
Adam. This is killing my spirit, Adam. The spirit.
There's still a whole minute left, though, which is crazy.
Insane. That is wild. Keep going.
I am saying that you can just choose to ignore that part. Much like most religious people ignore, say, the vast majority of the texts and books they supposedly subscribe to. You can just ignore the parts you don't like. And I do not think it is wrong of you to do that. I think just listen to the parts about self growth and development. Really focus on the things you can control, and I think that that's the best thing you can do, in my opinion. That's my time, and I'm going to stop it there at 4:43. So I was 15 seconds underneath the time, before the time ended. But and I did that even with you two jabroni jagoffs fucking interrupting me. So I want to add extra points for that when we're making our decision.
I may be a jabroni, but I am not a jagoff.
You take it back.
You take that back.
I love that that's the line you draw in the sand.
That's very good advice. And one thing I wanted to sort of just add on to Ben's advice is the leaving venues afterwards and having to change the habit. To the listener, I want to say that probably has to happen for a while. But encouragingly, Ben, I think, can now pull it off. You can hang out afterwards because you've kind of done the reps and you went back into these environments that you maybe really loved and missed. And you hang out after shows, you can go to concerts of your friends. I see you in these environments still being sober. So
I'll
to the
stay
listener,
later. I'll be there later than most people. I enjoy it now. But
so I just wanted the listener to know that's not maybe forever. It's as you deal with this.
Exactly. It is not forever to the person listening. It's just until you get yourself over those initial strongest cravings. I think it's important to find other hobbies and other things that occupy your time that don't involve alcohol or being in a place where your previous habits or alcohol is served. So that's my advice. Adam, you are up. I will run your stopwatch here. I'd prefer to, because I would prefer you not know, because I'm going to give you the end very hard.
Oh, wow.
So, Adam, here we go. You are set to go and begin. You are a piece of shit, Adam.
Come on.
Your advice will be garbage. Get ready, listener, for garbage advice. How's that feel? We're already 10 seconds in. I've wasted.
I don't know. I don't take in input. I don't know how it feels. I feel fortunate that I have a decent relationship with alcohol. It's not hard for me to go many, many days. Like, I didn't drink once during my 5-week shoot in Atlanta. You know what I did drink once? I came home for my wife's 40th birthday party, drank with my friends.
And I know her turning 40 was so upsetting to you. So
I had to get drunk. But the point is, I can do 5 weeks stopping on a dime.
Leonardo DiCaprio syndrome hit your heart, bud.
Leave the bottle, says Adam in the hotel bar.
It was more of a
I love that
more of a funeral.
Your bartender's like, "What's eating at you?" You're like, "Blah, turning 40." You are? Happy birthday. No, my wife.
No, my wife. So my wife turned 40 and I had to drink it away. But yeah, like that is an indication of how I feel about alcohol. Like I often stop for many days at a time. It's something I think I have a handle on. The only thing that I've had to like quit was cigarettes. And I did that when I turned 30, the day I turned 30. And I remember I had like 3 grandparents. I know that I've had 3 grandparents that have died from complications with cigarettes. And so at like 30, I was like, all right, fucker, don't do this anymore. And the only way I did it was I always kind of found it lame when people are like, I'm trying to quit, but I can't. And I cheated. And this, I was like, I always found it really cool when people just fucking did it. And I don't know like what that says about how petty I am, but I was like, I want to be fucking cool.
It says a lot about
I love it. You started smoking to look cool, and then you quit to look cool.
I mean, 100%. But when people are like, oh, I went for 17 days and then I broke again, and just fucking stop. And so like I did, and I'm proud of myself for that. And I haven't smoked since. And
that's how I quit smoking too. I don't want to get into your time, but
that was 14 years ago. So I don't know. That might be more willpower thing. Alcohol might be more addictive. I don't know. But that's how I did it. I wanted to look cool and not fucking go back and forth all the time because I just didn't admire that in other people. There it is.
Yeah.
With the higher power issue, yeah. Here's what my entire life view has boiled down to. Life is a gift, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes. But how many people have you known that have died and you wish they got more life? Yeah. And they're not around to experience all the little pleasures of a great cup of coffee or their son hugging them or whatever, or a sunrise, all the cheesy shit. It's great and it's beautiful and it's finite and it could be gone any second. So my God is essentially trying to appreciate the time I have on Earth. And it's hard to tap into it.
Fuck you, Adam.
It's hard to tap into it all the time.
You.
I'm cynical.
That's good.
I'm depressed, but that's what I try to do. I try to appreciate the time I have on the earth.
Fuck you, Adam. That is good, and I don't like it.
And you're doing that already by trying to get sober and be better. So just the God that you should worship is the time that you have left on the planet that you should try to be grateful for. That's it. Boom.
All right, Adam stops there at 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
I like it.
I'm exhausted.
I fucking hate it. I hate that advice because I think it's poetic, but I don't think it means anything.
Guess what?
That sounds like Adam's thesis for 2025.
Yeah, if you didn't like it, it's not going to get better or worse. There's no input and there's no output. I've got all that I need in my brain for the rest of my life, and everything that comes out of me will just be a reflection of what was already there.
Piggybacking on what Adam said, like I think this is just a very timely conversation because I've been talking to a friend about recently quite a bit about their sobriety and working towards it, and that is a big theme of it. Is like you get so when you drink and like get into that lifestyle, you become so tunnel vision. There's only a few experiences and activities that live within that narrow spectrum of being drunk at night or going out drinking. There's very few experiences you have. You're really missing out on like just a wide range of other things you could be doing, either because you're servicing this addiction or you're waking up hungover and you just don't want to fucking do it. And life is beautiful and it's a gift and it's short. And that is a great God to worship. And I hate saying that. I won't be voting for you simply because it's so good. And I want to say that right off the bat.
It's that or what is it? The thousand-eyed one?
The thousand-eyed one who wouldn't accept you anyway. You're all inferior. Don't bother. There's no program that the thousand-eyed one is associated
whatever
with.
Andrew answers, he's going to win because of the thousand-eyed one. I'm sorry, Adam.
The thousand-eyed one.
It's a snake cult. We meet in the sewer. You want to get sober? Come to my snake cult. We meet in the sewer.
I like how you say sewer.
Follow the wastewater. Follow the wastewater.
So Adams, in summation, is quit smoking immediately because it's fucking cool.
It's cooler.
And that your only God should be the
enjoying the time you have left.
And beauty of what little time we have on this planet.
On this spinning blue and green marble. You know what I mean,
thanks,
dudes?
Adam. Take a knee. Go ahead, take a knee.
You spent too much time at mindless aphorisms, and it's...
I'm drunk. Guys, I'm drunk.
They have
Spoiler
a new
alert,
mindless...
I'm drunk this episode.
Dude, how cool would a store in Colorado Mills called Mindless Aphorisms be?
It'd be a hit. It'd be a smash hit.
Just shirts with a bunch of gobbledygook garbage on it like that. All right, Andrew.
And if you're a fan of me, like decent odds, you could see me there. I hang there a lot.
How long have you been sober? Adam said since New Year's Eve. And you have been...
I haven't drank since New Year's Eve for me.
Yep.
And
wow, that's a hell of a streak.
Yeah.
27 hours.
One day at a time, buddy. Andrew, how long have you been not drinking?
6 years, over 6 years.
Yeah, congratulations. I didn't realize it had been that long. You're just so insufferable and off balance anyway.
You don't
Here
look
we go.
better.
You don't. All right, Andrew, I'm going to start your timer. All right, here we go. And go. Andrew, what do you got?
All right. Yeah, I quit drinking on October 21st in 2018, and I didn't use any programs to do it. I didn't use any books or anything. I just quit. And I quit because...
That's fucking cool, by the way. That's cool.
Thank you. I did it. I wore sunglasses the entire time. 100% of the time, sunglasses on, even inside the house.
Well, you're blind,
no thanks.
too.
I'm not
blind,
drinking. There's me at the party drinking a room temperature LaCroix with my sunglasses on. Everyone's like, damn, that guy's fucking cool. But I was able to quit. And this is the advice I do actually give other people and friends that are interested in quitting, is because I approached it with the mindset of falling in love with not drinking. I had to love not drinking. If I approached it from the perspective of like, I can't drink, I'm not allowed to drink, I need this program to tell me not to drink, that was always going to fail with me. And I think that fails with a lot of people because people hate being told what they can't do. And people are also terrible bosses of themselves because you are the boss of yourself and you are the one who ultimately will decide if you drink or not. So if you're also the person who's like, like finger waggy, of course, you'll find ways to break that, skirt that, get around that. So you have to...
Hashtag self-boss. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to love not drinking. You have to... It can't be a punishment for you. It has to be something you genuinely want and you genuinely crave. And when you're ready for that, I think you can accept that, and it gets so much easier to not drink. It doesn't mean it's always easy. And it doesn't mean that like your life gets magically better. Like your life will still be hard, just as hard as it is now. And at times it will seem even harder, but at least it's like your real life. You will never be coloring over it with booze. You will never be dashing to that escape hatch and just giving up. You will take the good times and the bad times of your life straight up, as real as it gets. So that would be my advice portion, would be to frame it from a place of loving not drinking and loving your real life. And I think that coming into it with that more positive point of view is hugely helpful. And as for the second part, with this higher power, I will say, if any of these programs, because I bumped on the same way. I was like, I don't want to go to some group that's like that where we're like saying these like kind of prayers or litanies or whatever. I had the exact same bump as an atheist. I didn't want it. So I like didn't go to them and I didn't use them. And I have plenty of friends who those do work for and they were able to make them work. But if it doesn't work for you, you don't have to use it. There's many ways to get sober as there are people. I honestly believe that. There is no textbook step A, step B, step C path to getting sober. The way you get sober may be unique to you. So embrace it and be open to that. And don't ever feel like you have to be pigeonholed into faking like you believe in God, into like sitting there like praying, my God is the spirit of creativity inside me. No, you can also just not have a God. You can also just not participate in that, and you could find other ways to channel your energy. So,
which I would say,
what God should you find? None.
If you're listening to this, is basically what I said. I want to be clear that Andrew is basically just repeating what I said.
No, so, you said just ignore it, and I said you don't have to participate in it at all.
You don't have.
You said go and like ignore it. I'm saying you don't even have to go.
Yeah, they are different. They are different.
I'm saying no, and I'm saying specifically they're different. I'm saying if you go and try to ignore it, I think you will get diminishing returns on what you're getting.
Yeah,
because you're sitting there
yours
and
is bullshit, Ben.
And you're like,
you think you're going to get diminishing returns if you just choose?
If you're sitting there and everyone else is like praying and everyone else is talking about God, and you're distracted.
AA has as good a results as
I know lots of people. I know lots of people who use AA,
and not everybody in there believes in God. They just choose to just ignore that part of it.
Yeah, but what Andrew's saying, some people who choose to ignore that, it makes the product hollow for them because they can't separate.
Yeah, you're sitting there and
have a hollow product, but they're going to have a hollow product.
I'm supposed to be turning this over to a higher power, and I don't have that higher power. So who the fuck am I turning this over to?
What kind of boner can't just go like, I'm not going to do that?
And many boners could be like, well, this is part of it is bullshit, but I'm supposed to believe this part. I find the whole thing bullshit.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just saying, if it doesn't work for you, and if it doesn't serve you, you don't have to go. You don't have to go and ignore it if it's bumping you. You can just not go.
I don't like Andrew's
and you
advice.
Can find.
I do like the Thousand-Eyed Warrior.
And you can find a different path, but never feel like your path is on rails and you have to do what other people have done to get sober.
That part I do agree with.
You can
the rest
find
of it, I think, is mine. It's redundant.
I like what Andrew said. Are you done, Andrew?
I'm done. And I would have come in at under 5 minutes had Ben not hijacked the train right there at the end.
Got hijacked 3 times by you guys in your buffoonery because I called you guys jag-off jabronis.
And again, relax on the jag-off thing.
But I
only jag-offs can call each other jag-offs, Ben.
Exactly. That's our word.
My thought is that I'm going to win this handily, and I think handily, and I think that's
win this handily.
Yeah,
I agree. I appreciate the part of Andrew's advice where he was saying it might not ring true for you if you can't accept that they are worshiping a god. I would feel the same way if I went to AA. I'd be like, that's bullshit, and I'd probably bail. But the part of Andrew's advice that I found to be dog shit and why you should vote for me is because Andrew said you have to fall in love with being sober. Andrew, do you love being sober?
I do.
Let me okay, because that's what you say to me as you dead-eyed drink your NAs at the backstage of the Grawlix.
I don't have to effusively say I love it to actually love it. When I'm taking the overview of my life, I absolutely say, "Oh, I love that I made this decision to not drink."
No,
and I'm so glad that I did it.
Ben just said he doesn't love it.
I don't. I mean, I've been clear about that. I wrote a whole album about there's no enlightenment in sobriety. I don't think sobriety is something you can fall in love with because I don't think that it necessarily does anything. Like, you have to do the work. Like, it just stopping drinking, you can become what we call in the sober world as a dry drunk. You can just exhibit all the same behaviors and still behave exactly the same. Like, you can still be the same person. The removal of what I do fall in love with, or what I'm trying to learn to love more, and is the harder thing, is myself. And I think that that's what he's going to find as well, is the hardest thing is to find a way to like yourself again and to see why you're using this tool. I think sobriety is just a tool for understanding yourself and your problems better. I know.
I love that.
I still have so many issues that are making relationships a little bit of a struggle for me, things like that. I can't imagine what I would be if I added alcohol to the equation. The people I've dated, the things that I've experienced over the last 14 years working with you guys. Could you imagine if we had tried to make that television show
It wouldn't
if
have
I
happened.
was drinking?
It wouldn't have happened.
There's no way. I would have been a fucking maniac. Like there's just, so it's like you,
Two Michael Madsen's on set.
But that's the thing is I may be difficult at times, but at least I'm not a difficult drunk. Like I can remove.
That's what your T-shirt says.
Yeah.
From Mindless Aphorisms.
Mm-hmm. I may be difficult at times, but at least
I'm not a difficult drunk. No, but I mean, it is like this thing. It's also, there's an escapism to alcoholism, not only in the fact that you run from your emotions, but you run from your accountability. I can't run from my accountability anymore. When I behave a certain way, when I act a certain way, I can't go, I was drunk. And people do give you that leniency. They'll go, he was wasted. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
There's no hiding from that anymore. You have to own your shit. And in a lot of ways, it's what Adam said. It's the cooler way of doing it. It's the more raw and honest way of doing it. Like you have to own your shit. I feel like I got more leniency when I was drinking for my behavior than I do now.
You do. Because people are like,
that's very right.
And
what
I
a
think
rascal.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's,
But now it's like, oh, you have like shit you need to work on. But I think removing that like allows you to.
I think what you said is a different way of saying exactly what Andrew said. Being sober is loving yourself. I
right.
think that might be the
yeah. I guess I
wouldn't
say I love sobriety. I don't think it's a thing that can be loved. I just think it is or isn't. You're either sober or you're not, you know, but it's the quickest route to liking yourself again.
Can I tell you something? I did one of those sober shows that you guys do, and it was so good. It was so good. It was too good. Like they were laughing so early. They were so on board. I was just like, holy fuck, you guys are the nicest crowd
I like sober
ever.
shows too because they really are evaluating every joke as it comes, where, you know, like a Friday night 8 p.m. show at a comedy club, they're so hammered you could just like jingle the keys like a fucking toddler. They're laughing. Like at a sober show, like they're really like listening to the jokes, and every joke is being taken at face value. There's no coasting on drunk momentum.
It was interesting for sure. I enjoyed it.
I would I'm going to third that. I would only do sober shows if it were financially feasible and an option, because just people this to me, and I think we all agree, despite some of the content, I get that some of the content may belie this state, like may just totally throw this statement off, but I think this is an art form. I think stand-up comedy is most certainly an art form, and I think it's best appreciated with your wits totally intact and your mental faculties at 100%. And so
I'll soft shoe that a little bit. I think you have 2 or 3, but 7 ain't all right.
No, it ain't. And that's another shirt from Mindless Aphorisms.
2 or 3, 7 ain't
7
all
ain't
right.
right. 7 ain't all right.
Oh, wait. Have 2 or 3, 7, then the letter, then spelled out 8. 7, 8, all right.
Yeah. The other thing, the last thing I'm going to say before we vote.
I'm just glad that Adam is sinking out of frame. At least he's slowly, later this year in 2025, we'll just have the top of his head, maybe.
What's up? Andrew, anything you want to say?
No, I think it's time to vote. I think it's time to vote.
Yep. I think it is time to vote. I went first. I will vote first. Whew, this is tough. I'm going to go with Adam. I'm going to vote Adams. I really do love the idea of a God to worship is just being grateful that you're here and that this is all chance. It should have never fucking happened. Life on this planet and consciousness is God.
Dude, think about people who like are struggling to have kids, or you've had a kid and how hard it was to like carry them to full term. It's such a miracle that like a life comes into existence.
And just even you're a 30-year-old musician who gets paid to play, like to me,
That's
when
had career success, mild career success. Ben's a 45-year-old. He's
shut
never
up,
had that.
dude. We're not doing that. We're not talking about where I'm at. We're not talking. I sell out mad shows. I fucking touch hearts. I change minds. No, what I was going to say is that never compare yourself, and I don't want to belittle, but man, you could have been born in the slums of Monrovia, Liberia. You know, like you could be.
We have fans in Monrovia. Okay.
No, you're lucky. You're capable. You can make music. You have a head on your shoulders. You're very lucky.
Yeah.
Enjoy that shit.
And so worshiping that, making that your God, I think is a really great place to put it, and answers his question. My vote's for Adam.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it. It's my turn to vote. The most practical, like, guy going through it, a piece of advice that I've heard today was Ben saying, change your patterns, remove yourself from the immediate post-show environment. That just felt like practical, good advice for this guy who's, like, in it. So the rest of it was, I don't even know what it was.
Fuck you.
But I did, like, that was like this gleaming orb of truth through this pile of dog shit that I saw. And so, yeah, to that guy, I think
I
he
don't
can use
process
that.
when I eat my gleaming orbs of truth. They don't digest.
You can
That's
see
what
him.
I call corn.
You can see him in there.
I call corn my gleaming orbs of truth.
So for that reason, that this guy, our listener, can immediately probably put that into use, I give Ben the win.
All right. It comes down to me. One of you will start 2025 off on the right foot.
With a W.
Won't affect me.
And one of you with a huge L.
Input, output. Take a knee.
All right. Gosh. You know what? With no fanfare, I'm voting Adam because I quit smoking cigarettes the same way. Even though I would never tell somebody to quit smoking
cigarettes.
It's horrible advice.
The cigarette parts is what the worst advice on this is.
The
what
cigarette part, because I was like, I was dating somebody who was trying to quit, and they were constantly up and down. And I was like, I'm just going to quit to see if you can just not smoke. And then I never smoked again. And I think she still smokes to this day.
Look, there's chemical dependency, there's addiction, there's all of it, but willpower is sexy, baby.
But
so just quit.
Adam's second part I liked much more than Ben's second part. I didn't. Ignoring it bumped me because I was like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't ignore it.
I couldn't either.
I did it, but that was, and I'm not saying that you can't. One would say that I am in essence saying just be cool and ignore the cravings of God. Do you see what how about if I
the salesmanship is pretty
there's a good spin.
Ignore the cravings of God.
How about if I say it like that? Now, well, that's sweet in the pot, Andrew.
But he screams at me every night right in my head.
But it's cool. Just say, no way. I'm not going to go back to God. I'm not one of these fucking lily pad hopping bitches. I let God go one and done. No contact with God.
I do like the sales pitch, and you did acquit yourself well after the advice portion.
At the end.
It's tough.
Still going with Adam.
I'm voting Adam.
Yeah. Yeah. We all lost.
I appreciate it.
We're all losers.
Appreciate it. Doesn't matter.
It does.
No input, no output. Take a knee.
I can't wait till you're hobbled from being on one knee.
I'll switch it up to prolong the usage.
I think most of all to earnestness horn. There it is. I'm going to sound it to our listener. You are on the right path. This is 100. If you are messaging a near stranger about a particular issue and asking you know, about help or whatnot, I always tell people reach out. This is a sign you have an issue. Mm-hmm. If you're asking for help, it's the first sign that you're realizing you have a problem, which is part of sobriety. It is a step in sobriety, is this recognizing you're powerless to it. And I think it's an important thing that you reached out and asked. I also want to say thank you to our listener as well for this, because we were able to joke about this. Some of you may like that or not. There should be no stigma to this. This idea that because you have an addiction, I'm going to get emotional, or because you struggle with some things that you are weaker. It's not. This is what the brain and the body does at times. It's totally normal for the human body to do that. We live in unnatural circumstances. Good on you for picking up, putting your hands in front of your face and fighting and swinging your fists. I think that's beautiful, man.
There's
great. So many people who have issues and they just they deny it and they frost them over and they're like, oh, no, I'm just having a tough month or this, that. And I do agree with Ben that first step of asking anyone of like, hey, how could I maybe sort this out? What can I do? I think it's huge. And it does show that you have that level of self-awareness that is crucial in tackling something like this.
And not to pat ourselves on the back, but also just talking about it normally, joking about it, not having to have like kid gloves on it or just be like, okay, now we're wandering into the self-help aisle at the bookstore. You can just joke about this shit. You can just talk about this shit. It's all normal and fine.
It is normal. The brain does this. The body does this. These are powerful neurotoxins and chemicals. And so anyway, thank you for sending that in. Adam.
To other listeners, know that if you direct message Ben, it could get even better than that. There's a chance it could go higher to the Grawlix Saves the World pod. So like know that maybe you can get
it probably
won't via that route as well. Send us your letters. Any way, shape, or form.
You could watch lightning strike one location and then go and stand and wait there for it to strike that spot again. It's not going to, but you could. It very rarely will hit the same spot twice.
I didn't understand the metaphor, but okay.
Anyway, thank you for that. Let's cleanse the palate a little bit. Let's go ahead. Let's guzzle an aperitif now, right? Oh, no, it'd be a digestif is what it would be.
You can have an aperitif anytime you like, especially if you have a drinking problem.
I've had 2 already today.
I think it's a digestif. We're going to have that in the form of some stand-up comedy. By the way, this month, the Grawlix is back. Baby, we're back. We took December off, but we are back in January. Huge lineup. Get your tickets now. It is going to sell out. But this person was our headliner the last show we did in November. So funny. Good friend of ours. Enjoy this clip from Troy Walker.
Oh, yeah. Troy Walker used to not drink, now does drink, and is so much fun to drink with. Hung out with Troy the other night. Had a few
Adam,
drinks.
we're not talking.
Great.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
guess,
Adam.
There's an exception to every rule.
Yeah, and maybe Adam shouldn't have won. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. Third actors, you're on deck. We got more show. Get ready. How do you say? Los terceros. Stay tuned.
I've been enjoying drinking a little bit. Sitting in my mom's house, just getting hammered, playing Baldur's Gate. It's fucking great. Just a little black wizard, just fucking wizarding my way around. Just a hammered wizard. I'm not a big drinker. I'm still kind of new to it, so like I just like the most embarrassing shit for a grown ass man to drink. You know, like the stuff your like guy friends give you shit about. You know, if it's in a fucking pineapple or has like a swirly straw, like that's my shit. That's what I want to drink, you know? And your friends will give you a lot of shit about that as a dude, which I don't understand, you know? Like I think it's crazy that if I order a frozen strawberry daiquiri, I get a bunch of bullshit. But if I pour vodka in a Slurpee, all of a sudden I have a problem. That doesn't make any sense. I think it's because of all the crazy names they give cocktails, you know? They give them all these like absurd names and there's no reason for it, right? Like I was in Omaha a while back and I was in this bar and they had a cocktail list and one of the cocktails they had on the list was called an Italian in Singapore, which sounds less like a cocktail and more like an old-timey saying it's not okay to use anymore. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta get out of this heat. I'm sweating like an Italian in Singapore. And then they had another one that was called an Obama sex dream. Somebody's telling on themselves. Whoever wrote that has some shit to talk about. It also kind of sounds like the motivation of like the weirdest dude that stormed the Capitol, you know? Some dude like, it ends today. Get him out of my head. But like your guy friends will give you all kinds of shit about that stuff. I think one of the dumbest things they do is they'll be like, oh, that's like a chick drink. They'll be like, that's like a drink, like that's a girl drink. Which I think that's very stupid. It's not just ignorant, it's also inaccurate. Maybe young women drink like that, but I date women in their 30s. And women in their 30s don't drink like that. Women in their 30s drink like they just got back from fighting the Germans. These fucking grizzled veterans. Makes a date awkward, makes a date tough for your boy. You know, go to get a second round, puff my chest out. Yeah, let me get a sunrise unicorn. And my date says she wants a Jack and Coke, but with real cocaine. Do you guys do that? Is that a thing? Is that extra?
Oh, God, we are back. Third act. Wow. Wow. The party is going. You missed act 1 and 2. Honestly, not very good.
There was nothing there worth
I would have
studying,
skipped
pondering, none of it. This is what you're here for.
And you're here, you skip act 1 and 2 probably because you're drunk. You're probably very drunk and you just can't follow it anyway. So,
and may I say that I think that is cool.
Quitting sobriety the first time without ever going back to it, that's cool.
If you could just quit sobriety, that's fucking cool. Don't just fucking go back and forth.
Dude, that's so
Quit
fucking meta.
Quit it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what an episode. I just want to say, give a huge thanks to our anonymous writer for sending this in and for tackling something that is very difficult to do, especially in a culture that reveres drinking. So you are doing the hard work. And what I tell people every time with this, if it feels shitty, if it's scaring the hell out of you, you're probably heading in the right direction because that's what happens with this.
Hell yeah. Can I do a new thing where we just thank people that were unrelated? I'd like to thank Willie Mays for just a fucking amazing career in baseball. We all appreciated it.
That's timely, too.
Say Hey Kid.
I know you felt regret
home runs.
that you didn't
What a
say
career.
anything.
Thanks, Willie, for
I've seen the regret. Andrew, who do you want to thank that
Thanks, Willie Mays,
has nothing
so much.
to do with that?
The Say Hey Kid.
Andrew, do you have any former Major League Baseball players you'd like to thank?
Thank any old MLB guys?
I'd like to thank the thousand-eyed God who stands above us all, withering worms unworthy of his gaze. Thank you.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
I'm with you. I want to thank him because I don't want to draw his contempt. So I'm definitely. Well, what an episode, Andrew. How's your voice? How are you feeling? Can you get
I'm
that
sick.
beat?
It's good. I'm sick. It's going to be bad.
I'm
just telling you right now.
Even when
contractually, you got to do it.
It's like Neapolitan pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good. So go ahead, hit me with it.
Neapolitan pizza.
Chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry right on a slice?
Oh, on a pizza?
No, and isn't that a Neapolitan type of pizza?
Is it? I think the standard would be like a margarita.
Well, in any case, here we go.
Neapolitan pizza.
What's on it?
Bugs.
That's also known as a Napolitana, is a round pizza that originated in Naples.
Oh, well, I don't go to Naples because I don't want my wallet stolen.
Everyone calls a round pizza a Neapolitan pizza. That's one thing.
Neapolitan pizza. It's a particular type of dough. The flat. Anyway,
I don't go to Naples because I don't want my wallet stolen.
Andrew, hit us with the sound again. More insults for the Italians. Go ahead, Andrew.
My grandmother is rotating
in her dough.
She's
rolling out her dough right now.
She is
Mamma mia!
Her calzone dough.
Yeah.
Andrew, just fucking sing the song.
I just did it once already, but here you go. Bugs.
Ooh, I like the raspy version. It's cool. It's like the bass is turned down. It's all treble. I like it. Northern California friends, loved ones, fans, admirers. I will be there this weekend. If you're listening when this episode comes out, I will be in Northern California, January 9th, 10th, and 11th. I'm doing a show in Petaluma on January 9th, Hayward on January 10th, and Sacramento on January 11th. You can get your tickets now for all of those shows down below in the show notes. I'd love to see you. Hella tight shows. We're going to do it hella so sick, so tight, hella.
Can I just say, I've always liked the Sacramento Kings. I just want to say it. Like, if I wasn't a Nuggets fan, the Kings are cool.
Really?
I got no problem with
Sacramento Kings.
I got no problem with Sacramento Kings.
I've always thought that's a market that should have a good baseball team. Seems like it would be a good baseball town.
I got a lot of thoughts on Sacramento. I really do.
All right. Could you imagine Sacramento Sack Sox? That's just fun to say.
Socks. They're
the Sacramento Sack Sox.
So the mascot is a sack of socks.
It's a Sack Sox.
I love it.
And it's also fun to say, sticky sweet, stuff like that.
Sacramento, you got to get out there and see Ben's show. He's got a lot of cool thoughts.
Sacramento
as well.
It's so sticky sweet in Sacramento. Andrew, you're up.
No, I'm up. We fucking discussed this. All right. January 29th, Wednesday. I'm headlining Comedy Works. If you know anything, you know Comedy Works rips. It's the downtown room.
You know anything about anything, dude.
If you know fucking shit about dick, you know this club fucking rips. It's me. It's BK Sherrod. It's Andrew Orvidal. It's Rory Scovel. What a fucking lineup. Come on out.
Baby.
It's going to be a lot of fun, Denver. I'd love to pack it out.
That is
I rarely am at the Comedy Works these days just because I don't even like comedy anymore. But I'll make an exception.
Oh, what a ringing endorsement of his
January
live
29th.
show, everybody. Go check out I Don't Like Comedy Anymore.
I like mine. Mine's great.
Dude, that'd be a great name for a special. I don't really like
comedy anymore.
Fucking A. Dibs.
All right,
Dibs.
do it. Andrew, what do you got? Tell us.
I've got, like we said, the Grawlix is back. Come check out the show. It's going to be Saturday, January 25th.
Who's our guests? I'm just curious, Andrew. Who do you think our guests are this
Andrew,
January?
who's
I'm curious
headlining?
if you even know.
Can you tell us, Andrew? Do you know?
What's the lineup?
I know it's Brittany Carney.
Yeah, all right.
And
I don't know who the local spot is.
And Kelsey Rosen. That's going to be
Kelsey Rosen. I should have known that because Kelsey rules. And
it's going to be a great show, guys.
If you know
fucking
both of
hilarious
those comics, they are both lights out funny. Huge lineup. Last November sold out. This one's going to sell out as well. Get your tickets now. As always, get tickets to all these shows and more in the show notes below. Who wants to take a run at these fucking credits? Who wants them?
I don't.
Andrew, do you want them?
The quick credits? Yeah, sure.
All right, let's see if you can. Do you think you can beat your time?
Even while sick? Maybe. Let me stretch.
Stretch it out, Andrew. All right, here we go.
You going to time me?
Yep, here we go.
Okay.
And go.
Thanks to producer Rod Doyle. Big help to Mike Henderson for your help recording our live show. Support us at Patreon at patreon.com.
It's the Micro Machines guy. Micro Machines guy.
Follow us on social media at Grawlix Comedy.
Effective. Everybody picked up the information. I'm sure that was fucking crucial.
Yeah, Adam talked over you, but about the Patreon part, patreon.com/Grawlix Saves. Otherwise, you hit 14 seconds with laughter and wheezing.
Yeah, that's terrible, though.
Yeah, it's bad for you. I mean, I think somebody who doesn't know it would do worse. You did better than them, but wow, what an episode!
What an episode!
Let's hit a bar. Let's go to the bar.
I'm
you
down.
Know what I mean? Yeah,
I've already had two digestifs and an aperitif.
I'll get a Shirley Temple.
Oh, you are so adorable. I love when you say Shirley Temple again.
Shirley Temple.
Play us out, Charlie.
Say hey, Willie. Say hey.